Hi crafters, it's Karen, and I have a mixed media process video to share. As you can see, I'm going to scrap these pictures of myself. These pictures are probably about a year and a half old, and I like the way it came out, so I'm going to finally scrapbook them. So I'm starting with some old, I'm telling you, probably vintage, my mind's eye paper from the 39th Street or 39th Street Market or something, or 29th Street Market, I don't know, very old. So I have two sheets of the very same design, so I'm going to layer them up, on top of one another. So I went over this top sheet with some gesso, and I trimmed all the edges by maybe 1/4 of an inch. You didn't see me do that, but I did. And then I distressed the edges with the Tim Holtz tool. And now I'm going to make a slit and roll these sides back so that when the layout is laying on the background paper, which is, of the same design, it will have a cool effect. So I wet the paper to make it easier to, roll and make the paper more pliable, because this is very sturdy quality paper. And I'm using the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Gold, and I'm going to accent that tear there. And I'm also going to use the Recollections ink. I think that's the Hydrangea. It's like obviously a purple color. Now the scarf I'm wearing in the photo is like a navy blue. However, this paper has like purple tones to it, along with gray and vintage colors. So I'm just going to accent the purple tones of the paper rather than work with the navy blue of my scarf. So I'm putting my scrap pal or scrappy tape on the back of my layout, so that after I, you put all my mediums, wet mediums and all that, I can adhere it to the bottom page. See, scrappy tape. I get that at, I think it's scrapbookpal.com. So this is a stencil, a Prima stencil that I'm going to use with my modeling paste, and it's not a very busy, it looks busy, but it's not a very busy stencil once you have it out. It's very subtle, which is what I wanted, because even with the gesso covering the designs of that background paper, it's a busy paper. And then with the sprays that I added to it and the other things I'm going to do to it, it's going to be more busy. So I wanted the modeling paste to be subtle, and I'm adding the modeling paste because I want it to catch some of the colors that I'm going to use. And of course, as with most mixed media projects, the layers that you develop don't always show up in the end, because you do work in layers. So I'm taking these wood veneer butterflies that I just got at Michael's. They're wonderful, and I'm going to heat emboss them. I'm going to do one in the shabby, I think it's called shabby enamel. So it'll be like a white enamel with gold glitter in it, and then the other one is going to be in gold embossing powder. So it's very brave of me to do this particular technique on camera, because I am such a slob with this particular technique. And you'll see, I get embossing powder everywhere, even when I'm so careful. Look at the tweezers I'm using. These are like eyebrow tweezers. I don't know where my really long crafting tweezers are. So I'm using those short ones, which I don't even know why they're in here. Anyway, so watch, I'm going to use the heat tool, and boom, all that gold glitter just went everywhere. I mean, it's in my coffee. I'll show you. I'm going to end up showing you my coffee because I got gold embossing powder all in my coffee. So the white enamel butterfly came out really cute. They both came out really cute. I love the results when you use embossing powder. It's just, you know, I'm a sloppy crafter. I get it everywhere. The next one I'm going to use was the purple new distress ink, and also some vintage photo distress ink on it, and then I'm going to do some stamping on them. And I should have taken my gold foil pen and outlined them both in gold foil just to tie in that gold color, but I didn't. I should have thought of it. But see, there you go. I'm going to stamp using a little Prima stamp that I have. So I'm doing this while my layout is drying, and I felt better today where I could sit for this, see, embossing powder, where I felt like I could sit for a longer period of time, which is, and I was dying to come in the craft room, which is why I was able to complete this layout. But at any rate, this is a Seven Gypsies paper pad, and it's actually a vintage, like, wedding paper pad. All the pages have to do with wedding, so but you can't tell the way that I layer them. See, it says just married. You can't tell the way that I layer my paper pages, but I wanted there to be kind of minimal color in my layers because I wanted to bring out the colors for my layout between that navy blue scarf and the flowers that I bring in at the end. So I didn't want there to be a whole lot of colors in my layers, paper layers. So I went to the doctor today and I got a good report. My kidney looks good. If you haven't seen my previous update video, I had a stent put in my kidney, and so I've been concerned because it's my only kidney, but the doctor said everything looks good, my kidney looks good, and the pain that I'm feeling will pass. And so anyway, I was in such relief that I felt the energy and the stamina to be able to come in my scrap room and craft and do a layout about myself, because you know, all the different things that I've dealt with because of the way I was born, whether it was because of my arm, as you could see there, or, you know, things like my you know, my kidney or Chiari malformation, you know, all the different things that I've had to deal with, that at a very early age I've had to learn to be comfortable in my own skin. You know, if I didn't learn to be comfortable in my own skin at an early age, it would have been a long life for me. So, you know, I really worked hard to accept myself, you know, as a young child. My parents helped me to do that, and I have 5 brothers and sisters who are all fine, by the way, and they helped me to do that. And, you know, so at any rate, you know, I've always had to do that. So I guess that's what I think of when I look at this photo, is that I'm comfortable in my own skin, and that you know, like anybody, it takes you a long time to become comfortable in your own skin, but once you're there, it's like it's almost like a freedom, you know, because you accept yourself. Anyway, that's the mood I was in today as I'm doing the layout. So I'm doing some stamping with another little Prima stamp, and I'm using this other little stamp. You can't read it there, but it says never stop dreaming. That tiny little word stamp there. It's a recollection stamp set. Now I'm gonna splatter some gesso. This is just watered down gesso. Sorry about that bang. I'm gonna splatter that. I want to bring in a little bit of lightness because that layout looks a little dark, so I need to lighten it up. So here I'm adding lace to the outer edges of this whatever you call it, of this layout that's going to be on the background piece, because I wanted to bring in more of a vintage look. I wanted to bring in more white, and I just wanted that extra texture. And I put dimensional tape around where that tear is so that it would pop up a little bit, and I know I wanted to be able to fit this cheesecloth in there and some flowers in there, once I layer it on my background sheet. So I'm adding my cheesecloth now with my hot glue gun, and by now I'm starting to not feel good, so I'm kind of taking the easy way out. I'm using my glue gun rather than reaching for my Fabri-Tac or other adhesives that are smarter to use when you're doing a layout like this. But I was getting uncomfortable, but I wanted to finish this. So I like the way that lace looks surrounding my the layout. I'm just securing the corners there with the hot glue gun. And I love the way I have all the sprays and colors on the top layer of the layout, but underneath is that clean sheet. The background paper is clean. Now these are old rub-ons and by Basic Gray, and these are like 10 years old or older, and they still work fantastic. And I just need to put them on layouts, and I'm doing it quite randomly. These are white rub-ons. They're rub-ons of stitch marks, and so I'm just putting them, around the layout randomly, just to bring in a little bit more white into the layout. And they worked beautifully. I didn't have a problem getting them on, only because of the modeling paste. They were quality rub-ons. Now I'm getting another sheet of rub-ons, and these are going to be white letters. And I know they're letters, and they don't really have anything to do with my layout, but I wanted to use them up. So, and in the end, except for that A, you can't really tell that they're letters. You can only see pieces of white in the end result. So yeah, so after I use up most of the letters here, I was able to throw away these 2 sheets after using them up, which I was happy to get, use them up out of my stash. So I just wanted to add a little bit more dimension to my layout by adding this layer with the rub-ons. Now I'm going to add another piece of cheesecloth. I just love the look of the cheesecloth on there. As you can see, I added a square doily to the back of my layout, or my photo mat. And now comes the fun part of embellishing. So this says "You are a free spirit," and again that comes from the stamp set from Michaels. And I don't know if I'm a free spirit, but I do know I'm not afraid to be myself, and I'm not afraid to be different than the rest of my family. And I'm not just talking physically. I'm the only one in my family who has tattoos, or I'm just I don't know, more I'm different than the rest of my brothers and sisters, and I'm not afraid to be my own person. So I think that's what I meant by "you are a free spirit." So these are medals that I've gotten, I don't know, somewhere along the way, that I'm cutting them in half, and I'm using them as like doilies, and I'm placing them underneath the layout and behind the layers, and I love that look. I love the look of bringing in some metals. I placed the enamel covered butterfly in the top right there of my photo cluster. I'm adding this gold word lovely because I just really like that picture of myself, so I'm using the word lovely for myself. That's the mood I was in today. So now I'm taking these purple, what do you call them, gardenias, and I'm going to accent them, or accent the layout with them. I'm taking some of these mixed media flowers that I picked up at Michael's. They have different browns and tan colors. They're just so pretty. And I could have sprayed them or stamped them, but I just left them as they are. This one stamped butterfly, I decided to put it up on pop dots, or else it would have melted right into that background paper. And I should have edged it with the gold foil pen, but I didn't. And I'm just going to place, my flowers here and there in a way that feels right. I'm going to try not to think about it too much, because you can make yourself crazy trying to decide where to put what. And now I'm using these other flowers from Michael's, and these bring a softer color, like a softer peach pinkish color, to the layout, and I think that they make all the difference, to bring the layout into a softer tones. See how I'm making myself crazy trying to decide where to put the flowers? See, and I'm using my hot glue gun. And I use my hot glue gun to adhere these metal pieces, and normally, I would have used my glossy accents or my Fabri-Tac or something like that rather than the hot glue, because the hot glue doesn't attach metal not for any length of time anyway. But like I said, I was getting sore and I wanted to be done with the layout. I wanted to finish it up. And it just felt good to be able to sit in here again after a week. So I decided to layer a flower on top of that bottom left butterfly, just to make it stand out a little bit more. And here I'm using it's a Prima, it's like a clip, but it's in the shape of a butterfly. I forgot the collection it goes to, but I adhere it there. I thought it was a nice addition. And I'll do a closer look video so that you could see the details of this layout, because again, I don't have any still photos. I haven't figured that one out. But I want to thank you all for watching, and for leaving such lovely comments, for giving me a thumbs up, and for the wonderful comments and that y'all left on my haul video the other day when I let you know what was going on with me and my kidney and the struggle that I've been going through. I just love y'all so much, and you've been such a big part of my life for such a long time, and I'm so grateful for all of you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.